And my name is Moree. I work as an industry principal for OSIsoft. I've been working with OSIsoft as an employee for exactly 4 years. 4 years and 1 day, to be exact. And I've been around OSIsoft for 20 years, consuming data coming from the PI system, translating that data into information and value and decisions in different type of industry, but primarily then in the life sciences industry. So I'm a little bit of a data geek, and now I try to work with many of our life sciences customers and food and beverage customers and specialty chemicals customers, and help them and guide them on the journey so they can also add more value to their processes and their systems. And with me on stage, I have 3 other persons, 2 colleagues. So Paula.
Thank you, Peter. Yeah, my name is Paula Baquer. I'm a customer success manager at OSIsoft, and I spent the last 7 years here working with customers like you in order to help you in your business days, in your manufacturing operations, to try to translate your problems into things that you could improve with data with the PI system. So I specialized as well in the pharmaceutical industry, and over the last few years, I was mainly focusing on adoption of the system, working with some of you that are here in the room. And I really hope you enjoy the day. There are a lot of good topics coming on, and you will love it for sure. And I hope at the end of it, you can take something home that you can implement and you can share with your colleagues for the rest of your days. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. My name is Brian Pope. I'm a technical advisor with OSIsoft and also the industry champion for life sciences in North America. So I work quite a bit with Petter. I do a lot with our pharmaceutical customers around things like workshops, proof of concept projects, architectures, implementations. So I've been with OSI for about 8 years, and right now I've been doing a lot of work with AstraZeneca, but other companies, Merck, Pfizer, BMS, and a whole bunch more, just to name a few. So hope everyone enjoys the day, and if you have any questions, feel free to come by and talk to me.
Good morning. My name is Tim Alosi, and I work for Biogen, and I'm the head of data and analytics in our global manufacturing IT department. And I'm here today as the chair of the Life Science User Group, the sponsoring organization here for today's session. We'll talk a little bit more about the user group and our meeting later in the day. And like the other people have expressed, I hope that you have a very good day today and find at least one nugget of information that you can take home and make your daily lives a little bit better.
Excellent. So thank you very much. So what are we going to look at today? So I picked up some news. I saw this earlier this week. Some bad news, important news about cybersecurity, and we see some trends that is a big risk, I think, to not just the life sciences industry, but here we can see some statistics that there is a big threat, and close to 50% of the devices and systems and equipment have been attacked under cybersecurity, so there are big risks. We need to protect what we do, the systems and the processes. Other things we see as a big threat overall is people are violating data integrity, trying to cheat, and we see these things coming up now and then. And of course, if we collect data, if we improve the data integrity, if we consume data better, we can make better decisions, and we can also secure the quality over time. And these are quite interesting articles. I recommend to read them. We have also some good stuff. So if you want to pick up some additional steps, you can come and join me tomorrow morning for a run. And here we can see how some companies are optimizing the supply chain. This was a picture taken yesterday morning at 6:15. And this is one of the big universities here in Gothenburg called Chalmers University. And on the other side of the street, they have a brewery producing beer. And then they have a pipeline directly from that brewery to the students at the university. So it's a beer pipeline, or in Swedish it's called öl pipeline, and in German it's a bit different because that means oil then, but just a funny thing. So what are we going to listen and look at today? So we have some partners, some sponsors, and I borrowed the picture from one of our sponsors and partners here at Sartorius. And very much is about that type of equipment and the processes and unit operations that are in the use today. Some are often in batch mode, some or might be also in continuous fashion. So at the Pi World in San Francisco earlier this year, we had several talks about continuous manufacturing. This time we will not focus too much on continuous manufacturing, we will focus on other things. So of course it's all about connecting all the different data sources for critical operations, as we learned yesterday. And this can come from DCS systems, SCADA system, embedded PLC systems. So they generate a tremendous amount of data. We need to contextualize and understand that data. So to do that, we also have MES systems. And today we will learn more about one of these MES systems that we have been able to interact very tightly and closely with the Pi system. We will have a presentation later about an MES. We also will learn more about how to incorporate data coming from building and management system and warehouses. And the next presentation actually will have a focus on that topic and incorporate building management. And of course, we will hear about how to contextualize the operations data with LIMS data or in-process control data. And we will see examples on that also during the day. So it's not just having the process data, it's also having the building management, the MES data, and the LIMS data, and in some cases even the ERP data. And the ERP data in this case could represent, for example, maintenance management, but it can also represent raw materials. And these are then shipped by our critical material attribute vendors. So we need to understand the incoming material and how that is influencing the processes and the quality and the performance and economy of what we are doing. And the day is very global. We learned yesterday about the community. And we see that many of the different pharmaceutical companies nowadays, they outsource work to CMOs and CDMOs. So the world becomes very global. And we will also learn a little bit more about that. And there are a number of good use cases around that topic as well. So then on the right-hand side, we can see a number of applications which can then be supported and underpinned by the Pi system and the data that can be collected and contextualized. So we have Seek, and they will talk together with Lonza today on how they do the data analytics and do troubleshooting and better understanding. And we have examples for electronic batch recording and review by exception. We will learn a little bit more later today about how that can be done. And we also have a product called RT Report that can use that directly on top of Pi. We will have a number of presentations talking about how the Sartorius Stedham data analytics tool, Simca and Simca Online, can contextualize and use data and translate that data into more value and to better decisions. So one presentation just before lunch and one after lunch. We also will hear a little bit about CPV or continued process verification, and there are also different vendors and partners that are doing that. So here we have some examples from, in this case, Statsoft and Statistica. And of course, the usage of various type of PAT systems, or you can also maybe say IIoT systems today. And we've had a number of presentations over the years on how to incorporate and use that type of information to add more insight and knowledge about that. And that is a thing that Tim have been working a lot on over the last few years, and they are just about to take that into operation. And last but not least, many of the companies and organizations try to collect and build up what you can say KPI, or critical or key performance indicators. And we will hear a little bit also during the day about how to develop and establish good, for example, OE, overall equipment efficiency. So that is today's agenda in pictures, but if you look at that in form of data, we have 7 presentations, and we will of course introduce each presentation as it comes, and you see that most of the presentations are 45 minutes, a few are 30 minutes, but you will be informed about all of that, and you find also all that information in your app. So I hope you have all downloaded the OSIsoft app on your smartphone. And I would also encourage you to take the opportunity to give feedback on the different sessions so we can understand what we can improve and what we can learn. At the end of the day, you can see at 5 to 6 o'clock today, we have something that we call a roundtable panel discussion. That is part of our pharmaceutical or life science PI user group. And with that, I would leave the microphone to the chairperson, Tim Alosi, that will give you a small introduction to what we are looking forward to at the end of the day.
Thank you, Petter. Okay. Oh, figured out how to use it. Great. So as Petter mentioned, this afternoon we have, at the close of the day from 5 to 6, a user group session. And what we're doing this year, and we've done it in the past, and I think we've had really good feedback with it, is we're going to have a panel discussion. And we'll have 5 people on the panel. We'll have 4 people from industry. We have an integrator joining us on the panel. And here's just a little picture up there of the panel from San Francisco. And just open topics. So throughout the day, as you are listening to the presentations, as you're having conversations, as you're coming up with thoughts, questions, ideas, if you take a look and go over, we are collecting all kind of ideas for panel topics on Slido here today. So we're going to do 2 things with Slido today. One is we will collect questions. So if people pull out their smartphones, put this in, you go to slido.com, then you can put just the LSPUG in the code, and you're going to come up with the Slido page. There's 2 areas in the Slido page. There's Q&A, and that's for the panel discussion. Right? So that will be, you can just ask questions, or you can vote up, vote down questions that are there, and we'll use that to guide the panel discussion today. And then there's a tab, which we haven't done before, but it's ideas, okay? So one of the things that the Life Science Users Group would like to do is we would like to enhance the voice of the customer, all of you, in the life science industry, and make sure that we're having that voice heard a little bit more collectively with product marketing, product direction. So what we're doing a little bit different this year, or we're adding to, is there's an ideas tab on Slido. And again, there's 37 items in the ideas tab, and those are some of the top vote getters in feedback on PySquare. So we filtered those primarily by ideas that would impact the life sciences. So again, vote up, vote down, and what we'll do is over the next couple of days, we'll collect this information, and then depending on what we get, we'll do some more focused sessions opening up to the community so that you can give us some feedback. We'll build some user cases, and then we'll share those with product marketing. And of course, when one person asks for something, it's good, but when this whole community asks for something, it's certainly a lot more powerful. So, use Slido today, and we'll use that to manage our questions. A little bit about the Life Sciences Group. We are the largest, most active user group on PySquare. We're currently about 690. So if you're not signed up, let's see if by the end of the day I can change the slide, maybe make that over 700. We do represent over 180 companies and good distribution throughout the world of members there. And this is changing still changing quickly. It's growing. It's a very active community. People do a lot of sharing on PySquare, and a lot of good discussions can go on there. So if you haven't checked out the Life Science User Group on PySquare, there's the link on the page. And please do. Like I said, I'd love to get that over 700 today. And just a quick thank you to our steering committee. They're put together the users meeting. They put together webinars. We'll be working on this user voice. We have several of us here today. I see Thorsten here. I think one of our presenters coming up. Kurt is around somewhere, and I'm here. So if you have any questions, reach out and feel free to ask. And I hope you have a great day. Time's up, and I think it's ready for our first presentation.